Hello and welcome to episode 6 of our series, Digital Mastery, Strategies for Corporate Leaders. I am Awuyemi Awuyokun, and as usual, I'm thrilled to have you here. So far in our series, we have explored the fundamentals of digital transformation, the role of leadership, overcoming resistance to change, measuring success, and selecting the right technologies. Today, we will be looking at data as a new currency, leveraging analytics for strategic decisions. In today's economy, data is the new currency. It influences decisions, predicts trends, drives revenue growth, and enables companies to compete at the highest level. But while many organizations collect data, few effectively leverage it to drive strategic decisions. This is where data-driven decision-making comes in. Data-driven decision-making is a process of using data to inform the decision-making process and validate a course of action before committing to it. Organizations that embrace data-driven decision-making empower every department from sales and finance to HR and operations to make better, faster, and more informed choices. But simply choosing the right analytics technology isn't enough. Many have implemented tools like Tableau, Data Rails, Python, or have even invested in data science teams, etc. However, successful organizations followed a structured approach to transforming data into actionable insights. In today's episode, we will cover why data is a company's most valuable asset, the steps to implementing data-driven decision-making, how leading companies across industry use analytics to drive results, the biggest challenges in managing data and how to overcome them, as well as best practices for fostering a data-driven culture. And of course, we will follow Anne and Mary as they navigate the complexities of turning data into a strategic asset. Anne was frustrated. Her company had invested heavily in analytics tools, yet she felt like they were still operating on gut instinct rather than real data. The sales team had dashboards, weren't acting on insights. Customer service had reports but still treated all customers the same. Marketing collected consumer data but campaigns weren't improving. The turning point came during a board meeting when the CFO asked, "We've spent millions on data collection, but how has it helped us make better decisions?" Anne realized that having data wasn't enough. Her company lacked a structured approach to using data for decision making. That evening, she called Mary. "Mary, we have all this data, but it's not helping us make decisions. What are we missing?" Mary smiled as usual. "And this is a common problem. Many companies focus on data collection but fail to connect it to strategic decision making. Let's break it down." Mary began. "Anne, think about the most successful companies in the world. Amazon, Google, Tesla, JP Morgan. What do they have in common? They are all data-driven organizations. They don't just collect information, they use it to make real-time strategic decisions. Here is why data is now more valuable than oil or gold. Data enables personalization and customer insights. Companies today are competing on customer experience. The better you understand your customers, the better you can serve them. For example, Netflix uses viewing data to recommend personalized content, driving customer retention and engagement. Data improves operational efficiency and cost reduction. From predictive maintenance in manufacturing to AI-powered inventory management in retail, data helps reduce costs and optimize operations. Number 3, data drives revenue growth and market expansion. Companies use data analytics to identify new market opportunities, predict trends, and adjust pricing strategies in real time. For example, Starbucks uses location analytics to determine where to open profitable stores based on demographics and foot traffic data. Number 4. Data enhances risk management and fraud detection. Banks and cybersecurity firms use AI-driven analytics to detect fraud, predict risk, and prevent financial losses. And was taking notes. So, companies that don't leverage data for strategic decision making are already falling behind? Exactly, confirmed Mary. Mary continued, and successful organizations follow a structured approach to data-driven decision making. Let's go through the key steps and I'll share some real-world examples to bring it to life. First, define your business goals and vision. Before diving into data, companies must be clear on their strategic objectives. Data is meaningless without a well-defined business context. You need to ask, what are we trying to achieve? How will data help us get there? Without clear goals, data efforts can be scattered and unfocused. The organization's KPIs will be very useful here. Aligning data initiatives with business objectives ensures that insights drive real value. Using data to track the KPIs will be a great way to start. Once again, look at the Netflix example. Their goal is to keep subscribers engaged and reduce the rate at which they leave, which technically is called churn. To achieve this, they use data to personalize content recommendation. Every data initiative they undertake, whether it's analyzing viewing patterns or predicting user preferences, ties back to that overarching goal. Start with a clear vision statement for your data strategy. Involve key stakeholders, executive, department heads, so that we can align priorities. You may also use frameworks like SMART goals to define objectives. Number 2. Identify relevant data sources. Mary said, not all data is useful. Companies must determine what data is truly valuable and invest in the right tools to collect it. This means asking, what data do we need to achieve our goals? Where does it come from? And how can we ensure it is accurate and reliable? Collecting irrelevant data wastes time and resources. Focusing on high quality, relevant data ensures actionable insights can be achieved. Remember the Starbucks example that they used location analytics to determine where to open new stores. They collected data on demographics, foot traffic, competitor locations, all of which are directly tied to their goal of maximizing store profitability. Specific actionable insights here will be to conduct a data audit to identify existing data sources and gaps, prioritize data that directly impact your business goals, e.g. customer behavior, operational efficiency. Then invest in tools like CRM systems, IoT sensors, web analytics platform to collect relevant data. This area will largely be driven by the nature of your business. For example, a manufacturing company is likely to be more interested in getting operational data from machines and even shift data, inventory, and so many other things that may be related to their operations. Whereas for an airline that we are actually tracking fleet, customer, fuel usage, all sorts, it's a different type of data that is gathered. Number 3, organize and standardize data. Mary explained, data should be structured, clean, and accessible across the organization. Data silos lead to inefficiencies, while inconsistent or messy data can derail your efforts. This step is about creating a single source of truth that everyone can rely on. And why does it matter? Disorganized data leads to confusion, errors, and missed opportunities. Standardized data ensures consistency and makes it easier to analyze. An example is Lufthansa Group that had over 550 subsidiaries, each using different analytic systems. By implementing a centralized data platform, they standardized their data and increased operational efficiency by 30%. Now every department works from the same data set, ensuring consistency and accuracy. Number 4, Perform data analysis. This is where the magic happens, Mary said. Data analysis involves uncovering patterns, visualizing trends, and generating insights. It's not just about crunching numbers. It's about asking the right questions and finding meaningful answers. Why does it matter? Analysis transforms raw data into actionable insights. Advanced techniques like AI and machine learning can uncover hidden patterns and opportunities for organizations. Amazon uses machine learning to analyze customer behavior and predict what products they are likely to buy next. Their recommendation engine generates 35% of their sales by turning data into personalized shopping experiences. You know what that means? When you're on Amazon's website and you are ordering things, you see all those adverts that flash around to say, oh, because you bought this, you should also buy this. That recommendation engine, they found out now that the recommendations they make to people now is responsible for up to 35% of the sales that they actually make. That personalization of shopping experience creates immense value to Amazon as an organization. Specific actions that could be taken here will be to use visualization tools, Tableau, Power BI, there are myriads of them out there, to make data easier to understand for regular users. 2. You can leverage AI and machine learning for predictive analysis and pattern recognition. Train your team to ask data-driven questions. For example, what are the trends? What's driving this outcome? So it's not just to take the outcome, but to go to the underlying data that supports even events that occur within their business patterns. Number 5, draw meaningful conclusions and take action. Mary concluded, data should inform strategy, not just sit in dashboards. Every insight should lead to a concrete business action. This is where the rubber meets the road, turning analysis into results. Insights are useless if they don't drive action. Taking action based on data ensures measurable impact. Specific actions you could take care is to create action plans based on data insights, e.g., launch a new campaign, optimize a process, whatever it is that is relevant to your organization at that time. Assign ownership for implementing decisions and tracking outcomes. Measure the impact of your actions and iterate as needed. Remember, data-driven decision making. Anne was amazed. So without a clear data-driven decision making strategy, companies waste valuable data. Exactly, Mary confirmed. Mary shared how global leaders leverage data for strategic advantage. I would like to talk more about driving sales at Amazon. Amazon faced the challenge of managing an overwhelming amount of customer data. With millions of products and customers, they needed a way to personalize recommendations to keep customers engaged and drive sales. Amazon developed an AI-driven recommendation engine that analyzes customer behavior, including past purchases, browsing history, and search patterns. The system uses machine learning algorithms to predict what product a customer is most likely to buy next. The engine processes billions of data in real time to generate personalized product recommendations. It continuously learned and improved based on customer interaction, ensuring the recommendation stays relevant. And what happened? There were clear benefits. 35% of Amazon sales are now generated through its recommendation engine. The system has significantly improved customer satisfaction and retention by making shopping experience more personalized and intuitive for the customers. Also, in the Starbucks example, after closing hundreds of stores in 2008, Starbucks needed a more data-driven approach to identifying profitable locations for new stores. Relying on intuition and traditional market research was no longer sufficient. What did they do? Starbucks leveraged geographic information systems and demographic data. They analyzed factors such as population density, income levels, traffic patterns, proximity to competitors, and they used all the information to create a model that helped them in selection of where next they will site their store. The data was fed into predictive models to identify high potential locations. Regional teams, of course, validated the insight with on-the-ground observation. Starbucks reduced the risk of opening unprofitable stores, ensuring higher success rate for new locations. The data-driven approach helped them expand into new markets such as China, where they now open a new store every 15 hours on the average. Isn't that impressive? In the Google example, Google wanted to improve its leadership pipeline, but lacked a clear understanding of what made their managers effective. They needed data to identify the traits of high-performing managers and develop training programs accordingly. Google launched Project Oxygen, a people analytics initiative that analyzed 10,000 performance reviews, employee surveys, and manager feedback. They used statistical modeling to identify the behaviors and traits of successful managers. The project revealed 8 key behaviors of high-performing managers, such as being a good coach, empowering teams, and having a clear vision. Google used this insight to design leadership training programs and perform evaluation frameworks. Managers' favorability scores increased from 83 to 88%. Employees' retention improved, and Google saw a significant boost in team performance and morale. Mary concluded, "These examples show that data isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. Whether it's driving sales, making real estate decisions, developing leaders, data has the power to transform industries. The key is to start with a clear goal, invest in the right tools, and build a culture that embraces data-driven decision-making." Mary then went on to explain the most common roadblocks in implementing data-driven decision-making. She said, "And while the benefits of data-driven decision-making are clear, the journey isn't without its challenges. Many organizations face roadblocks that can derail their efforts. Let's break down the most common ones and how to overcome them. First, data silos. Data silos occur when different departments or teams store and manage data in isolation. This fragmentation prevents organizations from gaining a holistic view of their operations and customers. When sales, marketing, and operations each have their own data sets, it's impossible to connect the dots and make informed decisions. And why does this happen? Some legacy systems that don't integrate well with modern tools still exist. Sometimes there is lack of cross-departmental collaboration or shared goals. Sometimes it's fear of losing control over data or insights. But then what can be done? Having in place centralized data platforms, like tools like cloud-based data warehouses to unify data across departments. Having data governance policies, which can establish clear guidelines for data ownership, access, and sharing. Then of course, leadership buy-in. Executives must champion data integration as a strategic priority and foster a culture of collaboration among different departments and units within the organization. Mary then said, "Breaking down silos isn't just a technical challenge, it's a cultural one. Leaders need to set the tone and make data sharing a core value." Number 2, poor data quality. Inaccurate, incomplete, or outdated data can lead to flawed insights and bad decisions. Poor data quality is like building a house on a shaky foundation. It won't stand for long. For example, if your customer data is riddled with duplicates or missing information, your marketing campaign is likely to miss the mark. Why does this happen? Lack of standardized process for data collection and entry. Over-reliance on manual data handling, which increases the risk of error. It can also be caused by failure to regularly audit and clean data sets. What can be done? Having in place a data governance framework, which will set clear guidelines for data collection, storage, and maintenance. You can also have automated data cleaning tools. Today, there are AI-powered tools that can detect and correct errors in real time as data is being collected. Regular audits are also very important to ensure data accuracy and relevance. Investing in data quality is not glamorous, it is essential. Think of it as the foundation of your data strategy. Without clean data, even the most advanced analytics tools are useless. The third challenge could be lack of skilled talent. Building the right team. Many organizations struggle to find and retain skilled data professionals such as data scientists, analysts, and engineers. Without the right talent, even the best tools can't deliver results. This talent gap is especially pronounced in industries that are new to data-driven decision making. Why does this happen? High demand for data professionals far outstrips supply. Limited budgets for hiring or upskilling employees. Sometimes it's even a lack of clarity on specific skills needed for data initiatives. Possible solutions could be to upskill existing employees, providing them the training programs to help them develop data skills. Mary further advised, don't just hire for technical skills. Look for people who can bridge the gap between data and business strategy. And remember, talent development is a long-term investment for any organization. The fourth concern is about privacy and compliance risk. With great data comes great responsibility. Okay, that's not from Spider-Man movie. However, companies must navigate a complex web of regulations such as GDPR in Europe and myriads of other data protection laws to protect customer privacy and avoid hefty fines. Failure to comply can result in financial penalties, legal battle, and reputational damage. Why does this happen? Rapidly evolving regulations that are difficult to keep up with, lack of expertise or resources to implement compliance measures, or over-reliance on outdated systems that don't meet modern privacy standards. What can be done? Compliance teams. Hire or train experts to ensure adherence to regulations. Data encryption and anonymization. Protect sensitive information through advanced security measures. Transparent policies. Clearly communicate data usage practices to customers and employees. Privacy isn't just a legal requirement, it's a trust-building exercise with your customers. Get it right and you will earn their loyalty. Mary wrapped up the conversation with 3 key takeaways. Data is a company's most valuable currency. To be competitive, organizations must follow a structured, data-driven decision-making approach. And lastly, a data-driven culture leads to better decisions, efficiency, and growth. Anne thanked Mary very much for the insight that she shared and went off. A year later, Anne looked back after the company retreat, reminiscing over their data implementation journey of the past year and how things had changed. Sales increased by 15% due to better customer segmentation. Inventory costs dropped 20% using predictive analytics. Fraud detection improved by 30% with AI-driven monitoring. She could imagine Mary smiling and telling her, "Now, that's how you turn data into a strategic asset." That's it on today's episode. I do hope you found it informative and interesting. You can join the conversation on our AmoGates YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram pages. You can have opportunities to ask questions and seek clarification on the discussion. In our next episode, we'll be discussing customer-centric transformation, enhancing the digital experience. Do subscribe and follow us on our social media channels so that you can be notified of new episodes as well as other amazing programs from AmoGates. See you next time. Until then, stay innovative, stay digital.